Many of you have emailed me and asked me, how do I know if full-time RV life is right for me? Today, I'm going to offer you a few test questions for you to ask yourself and reflect on. My last tip is probably the best one, so I hope you'll stick with me until the end. Today is the last day before the cold weather sets in here in Florida. I know it's nowhere near as cold as what many of you are experiencing, but to Floridians, 30 degrees is very cold. So today I am trying to spend as much time outside as possible. I'm enjoying the 77-degree weather, and I decided to save my laundry for a colder day. I am Nancy, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, thank you for stopping back. If you want to get right to the nitty-gritty of if a full-time RV life might be for you, then go to approximately the 2-minute mark, and that's okay. For the rest of you, we'll get there in a minute, but the journey really starts here. Next week, I'm going to share with you what it costs to live full-time as a solo female RVer for 2024. I'm going to compare it to my 2023 budget to try and give you a really good idea of how much this full-time RV life really costs, what you would need to budget for, and how much you can expect to spend. I took a couple of weeks off around the holidays for reflection, renewal, and re-energizing about what I really want my life to look like in 2025. Where do I want to go? How can I get the most out of my RV home? And what changes do I need to make this year to keep this RV life exciting? I'll be sharing that with you in future videos. But today is all about you. Many of you have emailed me and asked me, how do I know if full-time RV life is right for me? Today, I'm going to offer you a few test questions for you to ask yourself and reflect on. While RV life is definitely right for me right now, I do know people who tried it for a year, they gave it a fair shot, and they decided it wasn't for them. Maybe it was too hard, too lonely, or just too much work. But at least they tried. They're not going to look back on their life in 20 years and say, I wish I'd done that, or what would have happened if I'd done that. I am going into my 3rd year of RV life, and I would be lying to you if I told you I never thought about stopping. Just watch some of my other videos to see some of the challenges that I've faced. And then there are other videos that show you how amazing this life is. The wow moments when you just sit and look out over a beautiful sunset or a river or a lake and just say wow. When you experience breathtakingly beautiful spots, or when you meet new people that turn into friends, or when you figure out a solution to something that you never even knew could be a problem until you started RV living. But you figure it out and your confidence grows. On this channel, I like to show the good and the bad and the average days. After all, I am not on vacation, and this is my life, complete with laundry, grocery shopping, paying bills, babysitting for my granddaughter, and dental appointments. Okay, so let's dive in. So things got real busy here real quick. And there was an alligator in the water. A lot of people had to come out to see the alligator. And then there was a slew of RVs checking in. It just got real crazy. So I decided to come inside and move things around for you a little bit. But okay, so let's dive into this. My last tip is probably my best tip, so you definitely want to stick around for that one. First, do you like to travel? I know that seems like a given, but do you really like to travel frequently? Do you like to explore new places? Are you okay with waking up and opening your front door to a new view every day? Right now, I'm only moving every 2 to 3 weeks. I'm more stable for the winter, but there are times that I have moved every day for 5 to 7 days in a row, or every 2 to 3 days for a month. And that could change according to the weather, my mood, and the availability of campsites. Can I stay longer? Can I leave earlier? Number 2, are you a risk taker? Are you ready to take on an outside the box lifestyle that's different from mainstream lifestyle. Living in an RV full-time, you do get some interesting looks. Most of the people I have met are of two different camps. The one is, why would you ever sell your house and do that? And the other one is, that is exactly what I want to do. Number 3, are you comfortable with living a minimalistic lifestyle? I still feel like I have all the comforts of home and then some. I'm just more aware of some of the creature comfort, like water and electricity. I also make changes regularly as I get to know my RV and my camping style better. It's all based on making my life easier, more enjoyable, safer, and less stressful. And I found that making these adjustments and changes is part of the fun. Finding solutions and then learning to fix some things on your own gives you a sense of accomplishment, and sometimes I even feel like a bit of a badass. Everyone is different, and with this lifestyle, you have the flexibility and freedom of making this life uniquely yours. But I don't have a lot of room for stuff. Everything needs to have a place, and everything needs to be put back exactly where I found it, or I will never find it again. And everything has a purpose, maybe 2 or 3 purposes. As you camp in different places and areas of the country, you will find different situations and different solutions. I am constantly looking at what I have and purging. My goal for 2025 is to not replace things after I purge them, just because I find I have extra room in my RV to put something. Learning to live with less is a journey all of its own. 4, are you flexible, open to change, adaptable, and resourceful? Those are all important characteristics of someone who's living on the road full-time. Finding your way around new grocery stores, in each new location that you stop, not being able to buy everything just because it's a good deal or on sale, having safe water to drink for you and your pets if you have pets, and planning time at your home base area for doctor's appointments, catching up with family, dental visits, vet visits, and keeping up with general business. The good thing is I can do it in the 4 months that I'm more stable and enjoy the other 8 without really having to think about it that much. Then there's figuring out how to get your mail and packages and finding reliable internet at reasonable prices, or not having internet. I've been lucky that my T-Mobile home and AT&T service on my cell phone with a hotspot that I can use has worked almost everywhere. But there are times, and I've learned that instead of stressing out when there's no or low connectivity, to just enjoy where I am in the moment. Maybe read a book, watch a movie that I've downloaded, go out for a walk, and just enjoy the quiet and this lifestyle. Although I do enjoy it more when I'm connected. 5, RV living may be less expensive than living in a house with a rent or a mortgage, but it's still not cheap, at least for me. And having an emergency fund for those unexpected repairs is crucial. I'll talk more about that in my budgeting video for 2024 next week. Before I talk about the 6th and the most important tip, if you're finding this information in this video helpful as you consider possibly starting your own RV life and deciding if this might be for you, please subscribe, leave a nice comment about where you are on your journey, and maybe even share this video with friends or family. Number 6. So before I sold my house and almost everything in it, I did a test run, or 2 or 3. The first one, I own the RV already. I had bought that right before I quit my job, thinking that I would just use my RV for weekends and travel with friends. I started with a 2-week trip kind of close to home. Then I did a 4-week trip and moved a little farther away from home. And after 4 weeks, I realized I still didn't want to go home. That's when I started to think that this life could be for me. Once I went full-time, the first year I traveled to places that I was very familiar with, and I had friends or family along the way in case I needed help. The second year, not so much. I was pretty much on my own and I learned a lot and I got to see a lot of great places and meet a lot of new people. But it was completely different for me. Next year is going to be the biggest adventure as I go out west where I've never been for any length of time, let alone in an RV. It's going to be a bigger and longer journey than ever. My goal was to travel the US in my RV for 5 years. I take it 1 year, one trip at a time. In my corporate world life, I always had a month plan, a year plan, a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 25-year plan. And I love that I've been able to relax and let that go and just enjoy where I am in the moment. Now I live year to year, taking life one campground at a time and enjoying the uniqueness and the opportunities that every place I stop has to offer. I hope you'll stop back next week to see my 2024 spending habits and what it costs me to live and travel the US full time in a Class C RV. Thanks for watching. Check out some of my other videos about solo RV life, both the amazing side and the challenges. I'll see you next week.